your vote initially broke with Speaker Mike Johnson. A, do you consider him part of this uniparty? And B, have you lost confidence in his leadership?
No, he's got a one-person majority. If we kick Mike Johnson out, you might as well just hand the gavel to Hakeem Jeffries, because you've got Republicans in districts that have voted 15%, plus 15 or 15% more for Biden than they did for Trump, and these are Republicans elected to Congress. So they're just hanging on by a thread, and I would dare say they'd pick off a couple of those, and the Democrats would be unified, and we would in effect lose the gavel in the House. And if we do that, you will see you think this will make today's shenanigans look like a cakewalk, because they will march all over our rights and our belief systems, and they'll have the House, the Senate, and the White House, and they'll show us what a majority does.
There's another FISA vote today in the House. How are you going to vote? Can you give us any insight there?
Well, if we don't get the amendment on that protects, that doesn't make them get a search warrant, I would be a no. I'm still not really sure. I'm still, they've exempted Congress from that provision, which to me is a bad thing. And I just don't know. I think we're just putting a bow tie on a pig. We probably need to gut the whole thing and start over. Again, we do these things like after 9/11 and all this stuff, and we all get riled up, and we forget about our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And to me, it's we used to say in the Tennessee legislature, you go a little slower, you get there a little faster. I think we need to take some time and debate these things in the open, allow amendments on these bills, and quit with all this closed rule stuff and backroom dealings, because the American public's not being served. And I think they're aware of what's going on with this thing. I sure hope they are. I hope they're paying attention. They're not just going to don't take my word or your congressman or congress lady's word. Read the dadgum bills, read the information on these things, and quit sending these people up here that's going to sell you out every time. Because we're $35 trillion in debt. Our borders are wide open. And, our FBI is labeling school moms that are concerned about pornography in their classrooms as domestic terrorists. That's where we are as a nation, and we can do a whole heck of a lot better.
Sir, I really appreciate this conversation, and I am curious. So you're saying your vote is conditional on if that Biggs amendment that, quote, prohibits warrantless searches of U.S. person communications in the FISA 702 database, with exceptions for imminent threats to life or bodily harm, consent searches, or known cybersecurity threat searches. If that isn't there, if that's not in the bill, you are voting no.
That's correct. And I still might vote no, even if they put it in, if I find out some more stuff. It's so complex, and that we're being told so little on this, and the debate is bringing up a lot of topics that a lot of members have found out about. I'm really concerned about a lot of it. They're using this information to sell it, and some aspects. There's just so many other things that are bad about this that I'm not sure if it's salvageable. But if we could get that on there, I could possibly hold my nose and vote for it. That's the Biggs amendment.
I hear you're concerned. I hear how frustrated you are. I know you just said you've been told so little about this. Who do you think is to blame for that?
Well, the system, because if we hadn't have brought the rule down and stopped it, we wouldn't be having this debate. It wouldn't be out. I mean, I can get a 2,000-page bill and read it, but the reality is, you need a room full of lawyers, and you need a month of research to get to the bottom of this stuff, and that's why they do it. That's why we're $35 trillion in debt. That's why people, they say, "Oh, I'm against all this," and then they end up passing it through. So, the process worked in this case. A lot of people are angry, and they accuse us of taking away their rights of their people. In fact, we gave the people their rights with this vote. We gave them the ability to see what's going on C-SPAN, just to see the corruption right out in front of it, and watch the other side squirm trying to defend it. And then you're going to see a lot of them that squirmed. They're still going to vote against the American people because they are arrogant and they think they know better than what the American people know, and they're fed up with it.
Do you think then a vote for this FISA bill is a vote against the American people?
If the amendments don't go on to clean it up, I sure as heck do, ma'am.
And if the amendments don't go on, do you think it has a chance of passing?
Yes, I do. I surely do.
Sir, I know how busy you are. I really appreciate you taking the time today. Thank you so much for joining me.